Hey everyone, and welcome to my very first episode of a new series where I built a diorama for every minifigure from a Dungeons & Dragons series. There are 12 minifigures in total, and today we are starting with the Barbarian Dwarf. This is Emily, a brave and a smart dwarf. She always carries her axe, a gift from her father, and she won't hesitate to use it if trouble comes her way. She has her own wooden cart and her best friend, Stoneback, who always helps her pull the cart. Before Emily leaves for any journey, she gathers a few things she can do without. A bow for hunting, a pitchfork for keeping Stoneback well fed with fresh hay on their adventures, a sword just in case things get really dangerous, a fishing rod because her favorite food is fish, armor and a helmet to keep her safe and give her the fearless look, bread, the perfect match to her fresh fish, and last but not least, a good supply of fish, because you never know when you will need a snack. Since she's holding a torch, I imagine her as an explorer deep inside the cave, and that's exactly the kind of environment I'll be building for her. So, let's grab some bricks and start building. The base is 32 by 24 and I picked the dark birch grey because it perfectly fits the look of a rock cave. I begin by building the corner of the cave, which will also serve as a supporting point for the surface above. Since my plan is to create a cave with a tunnel connecting underground to the surface, I'm now laying the foundation for the tunnel, going from deep underground up to the surface. Now it's time to cover the floor to make it look nice and detailed, both inside the cave and along the tunnel. I'll be using a mix of tiles, plates and other pieces to create a natural, uneven surface that fits the underground setting. Let's move on to building the walls, forming the rocky structure of both the cave and the tunnel. For the cave wall, I'm using a 16 by 16 plate with slopes mounted on its side using this knot technique. I'll use a similar approach for a tunnel wall too, combining it with slopes to keep the same rough and rocky feel. Finally, it's time to build the ceiling, the last piece that will close off the cave and complete the underground scene. This part done, the cave is nearly finished. With the cave almost complete, the next step is to build the tunnel ceiling, an important part before I can start building the surface. This part of the build is hollow, so before I can start working on the surface, I need to fill in the gaps, and I will use pillars and bricks to create a solid base to build on. Just a few more pieces to finish off the ceiling and add some final touches to bring the cave to life, like a spiderweb with a spider crawling on it. Fill the ceiling with beds. You will always find a mouse running around in the cave, and this is the perfect spot for someone who didn't make it. Oh, wrong story. Don't worry, I'll fix that. This time I'll try it without a suit. Okay, that works. Tell me, what is a cave without a monster? Here is the spot for the cave entrance. Let's add some wedge plates to give it the proper shape. Now it's time to flatten everything into one level to prepare for building the surface. Everything that will be visible from the edges to the part that will peek through needs to be built with reddish brown pieces to look like a soil. Fill the rest and add some roots for a more natural feel. It's time to cover everything in green to give it a grassy look. Some reddish brown is still showing through, and that's intentional. For example, these are wheeled wrecks in the ground, and this is going to be a mud lake, so let's finish it up. I'm adding some leafy pieces and a few other plants to make it feel more natural. Finishing it off with a lily pad. The cave entrance needs a few more details, so I'm adding some rocks. I'm adding extra plants around to help camouflage the cave entrance. This is the perfect spot for a tree. Nice try, but let's pick a tree that actually works. Since mushrooms often grow near trees, I'm adding some, but the fly agaric among them to brighten things up. Now just adding the final touches. A bee, a little bird, and a beehive. And now the build is finally complete. Emily and Stoneback head out for another adventure when suddenly Emily spots the entrance to a cave. She immediately jumps into the guard, grabbing her axe and torch. Without any hesitation, she steps right to the cave entrance. Reaching the cave entrance, she looked down and threw her torch into the darkness. She quickly jumped in, grabbed it, and went deeper into the cave. She got scared at first, but soon realized it was just a spider, so she went further inside the cave. But she doesn't realize what's waiting at the end. Here is the final build. Enjoy the view. I hope you enjoyed this build, but we still have 11 minifigures to go, so please leave a comment and let me know which one you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next adventure.